3 races remain in the 2013 season. Steve Brown, 5 points behind leader Bill Steinbach. It could all come down to today's doubleheader action for the Steel City Battle at Moon Speedway. Bill Steinbach, like I said earlier, 5-point advantage over Steve Brown. Several scenarios are being tossed about throughout the garage area of how Steve can win this championship. But if Bill Steinbach is lucky enough to win any of these races today or beat Steve, he will be your 2013 champion. So get ready for some championship racing. Getting ready for the first race in this afternoon's doubleheader action. Steve Brown on pole, Steinbach in second, and Limbrunner in third place. Three, two, one, go. Drop of the green flag. Steve has the lead. Bill might have a mechanical issue out of turn number 2, already in third place as Steve and Chad make contact at the exit of turn number 4. Chad backs up, collects Bill. Now these two are on the tail end of the lead lap. To leader Steve Brown. Some bumping there. Chad put Bill out of the groove, got him loose. Now Bill's trying to get back. Steve Brown still retains the lead over this field, but our first caution flag this afternoon on lap number 6.
It's the result of Bill Steinbach hitting the turn number 1 cone and not being able to get going as his tire was up off the ground. Green flag is back out. A lot of bumping on the restart there by Limbrunner, who had the middle lane. Brown comes away with the lead. Limbrunner in second. Steinbach in this Ford in third place.
Steve Brown right on that inside line, but Chad Limbrunner is there. He tried to get into him there, but he could not make that car hook up. Bill Steinbach still in third place, possibly conserving battery early in this one. Anticipating a lot of action in both of these races this afternoon. Steve still has the lead over Chad Limbrunner. Not much action up front. This field is pretty evenly spaced out right here in lap 15. Approaching the halfway point in today's first race.
I mean, let's face it, you don't want to waste a lot of battery. Just take away these laps because either in the second race or right here, Steinbach could put the championship away if he takes the lead and if Brown ends up finishing in third place. There's a lot of bumping here in lap 20, a little bit of action there. Limbrunner comes away as Brown drops back just to reserve battery and his car. And now there's a wreck.
Oh! Big caution in turn number 3 as our production manager comes through the booth. Chad Limbrunner involved in this one. Here it is again. You can see he was the initial reason for the caution flag, hitting the cone in turn number 3. Then came Brown, and then Steinbach with a full head of steam in the backstretch.
All right, Steinbach takes the middle lane as he comes around, and there's a wreck by the other 2 drivers, putting Brown in third place for a short time, and there's a bunch of crossover moves on both sides of the racetrack from both of those drivers. Brown almost goes flying over the outside curb of the front stretch, and they continue on moving as Steinbach is on the lead lap, in the lead, and he is just running a very conservative line. Didn't want to get hit by those 2. You could see in turn number 3 as they came back across the speedway on lap 30.
And more circuits of racing to go. Once again, this field is very evenly spaced out as Steinbach approaches the rear bumper of Steve Brown, narrowly avoids him, but then those 2 wreck out of turn number 4, Chad and Steve. Bill Steinbach still high out front in this pack. Steve Brown wrecks, and then Chad Limbrunner does in turn number 3. Steve goes on to the backstretch. You can see he's stuck on one of those orange delineators in the middle of this racetrack.
Now, obviously, as you can see, the yellow flag did not come out during that whole exchange until Brown got up on that cone. That was the cause of the caution. Thankfully for him, he did get stuck on that cone. Had he not, the race would have been over. Steinbach would have won.
But not good news for Steve Brown. He will have the middle lane, not the preferred groove. Oh, my goodness.
You can see there exactly why.
Right there, he flips out of turn number 2. Bill Steinbach came up as Chad Limbrunner came down, and Steve was in the sandwich right in the middle, had nowhere to go.
Now, we always talk about the middle lane not being optimal. That was a perfect example there. And again, you're the one that's going to get hit there if you're sandwiched in the middle, and this is going to probably bring out another caution. But no, it doesn't. Limbrunner has the lead now on this race late in the season.
Bill Steinbach and Steve Brown were jockeying for a position there, but there will be a yellow flag. Looks like Bill may have gotten stuck in the outside retaining wall in turn number 4. Steve Brown patiently awaiting lane choice for this restart. Chad jumps the gun. He will take the outside lane. I would guess Steve would be on the bottom. But no, he takes the middle lane. Surprising. After the last couple of restarts, he's been there, and it hasn't worked out. Green is back out. Bill has the jump. Chad and Steve wreck at the exit of turn number 2, and that will be the second green-white checkered attempt.
You can see their wheels got locked together up in turn number 2 before Steinbach crossed the line. He was about at the restart line, so that is a legal green-white checker attempt there. I know sometimes our graphics are a little bit behind, but they did call the caution beforehand. Brown, unfortunately, has the middle lane again, and there's another wreck, but look at this. Now there's a battle. Ooh, and it looks like we're going to take the final lap.
Steinbach tried to take out Steve Brown, but he ran out of time. Steve Brown picks up the victory. Chad gets second, and Bill gets third place. You can see Bill Steinbach's car is completely twisted about.
Very interesting day of racing. You know, you can see early on in the race they were conserving battery, but later it got really tense, a lot of wrecks. Brown taking the middle lane, not a good choice for him, but he pulled out the win.
As the drivers crank it up for the second race of today's doubleheader action, you want to check that one out, see how this race turns out in bigger terms of the championship fight.